Joining us now to talk about our ongoing crime challenges in our beloved Bluff City is a man who has led this community for nearly 8 years now, Mayor Jim Strickland. Mayor, welcome back to Action News 5.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
It's great to have you here. As you know, there's a state senator here in town, State Senator Brent Taylor. He's made a push for an investigation into the Shelby County DA's office. Do you think this is warranted?
I don't know enough about. I have not read his letter. Don't know about it. But the system as a whole is broken. The judicial system at 201 Poplar and juvenile court is broken, and we need help up and down, and because that revolving door is not discouraging crime; it's actually encouraging crime.
As you know, the district attorney's office has been led by Republicans for a long time. Bill Gibbons served a couple of terms. Then Amy Wyrick came along, and Steve Mulroy beat him. And Brent Taylor is a Republican. He's a Democrat. So do you sniff partisan politics going on here?
I don't know. What I'm concerned about is this revolving door. We need clear messages from our court system that violent crime will not be tolerated. And are we hearing that? I don't think we are.
All right. One conversation that's happening now is the elimination of state bail. Do you favor that?
No. No. We right now the bail is too lax anyway, and that contributes to this revolving door. Let me give you an example. Auto theft, which has really skyrocketed. Over a recent 18-month period, MPD arrested 2,400 people for stealing cars or breaking into cars. That's a lot of people. It's not slowing down because they get low bonds or no bonds, and their cases are dismissed or they're given probation. There's no punishment. There's no downside to these criminals of stealing cars. There needs to be a strong downside.
All right. Do you have any sense that you might want to take up part of this cause after you leave office as mayor?
Well, my voice will still be heard. I'm not going to work in the criminal justice system, but my voice will be heard because I live in this community. I want both my children to, grow old in this community, and we have a real challenge going on. City government has a sense of urgency about it. We're arresting people. The court system needs a sense of urgency. They're not keeping these criminals.
You know, when I interviewed Mayor-elect Paul Young here in this building during the campaign, he said he's going to hold everybody's feet to the fire, and he says he's going to try to get everybody around the same table. This is easier said than done, of course, especially when you're a candidate. But he's going to stay in the room, and he says all of the parties, the DA, he hopes to have the judges, and all the critical parties for our criminal justice vexing challenges, he hopes to sit everybody down together and try to come up with a solution and move the ball forward somehow. Do you think that's possible?
I hope so. I hope he's very successful in that. But for 2.5 years, I've been pointing to this challenge that we have in the court system. And we know it's a real challenge because the gang interveners, which we have out on the street, they're reporting back that these young people are saying, hey, I'm not interested in getting out of gang life because there's no downside in this criminal activity. It has to change. I don't feel that the court system is listening. I hope they listen to the mayor-elect.
All right, let's talk about the football stadium just for a minute. The Smith family made an incredibly generous gift. What is the status of the transfer of Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium to the University of Memphis?
Sure, I support it. I've proposed it to council. The council committee supported it. It will come up in front of the full council next Tuesday. I expect an approval because Mr. Smith said he had two things he wanted done. He wanted the stadium transferred to ownership to the University of Memphis, and he needed it done by December 31st because the university wants to start construction in January.
All right, they're making me wrap up, Mr. Mayor, but I want to shake your hand and thank you for being here.
Thank
you. You're the #1 Tiger fan in the studio right now, but the #1 Tiger is in the building right now, too. Anthony Penny Hardaway. We're going to hear from Coach in just a minute, but right now let's go to Spencer because we have to talk about the weather.